So you're new to Apex Legends and you're not too sure what legend you want to try yet, or even what all of their abilities are. Not to worry, because in this video we're going to be breaking down the top 5 best legends for you to use as a beginner, and explain all of their abilities in depth so that you are confident in which legend to choose to become the next Apex Predator. Starting it off at number 5 is Lifeline. She is the original first support player that is all for helping and healing your teammates. If you are a player that wants to run and gun, she may not be necessarily the legend for you, but she can craft unrecovered allied banners, add replicators to revive teammates, and access hidden loot in blue extended supply bins for healing and survival items. So say you and your team actually get separated and for some reason they all go down but you can't get their banners before it runs out of time, you can go to a replicator, craft their banners, and then be able to revive them. Her tactical ability is the DOC heal drone. When deployed, it will automatically heal teammates and yourself, which is really useful to use when your squad finishes fighting another team, just to be sure that you and your team are fully healed before a third-party team happens to roll in. There is nothing worse than getting third-partied when you're trying to heal. Her passive ability is called a combat medic. She deploys a DOC to revive teammates. This will hover over the teammate, leaving you free to move around and defend against enemy fire while the DOC revives your teammate. You can double this up by also throwing down your heal drone and have it healing them as soon as it revives them. This is super useful in all kinds of situations because you never want to be caught in the middle of a revive and have absolutely no way to defend yourself. And her ultimate ability is a care package that can be called in to receive high quality defensive gear that will help you throughout the game, which can be a game changer if you happen to get a bad loot landing and never be able to find good gear. Because on one side of it you can get armor upgrades, heat shields, and mobile heals. Side 2 will have heals and attachments and more heals. And side 3 would have equipment upgrades and big heals. If your team is already fully decked out with the best armor, you'll just get more heals. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I don't want to just be a support player sitting in the back all the time, don't worry. There are plenty of pro players that still use Lifeline and completely top frag on their team. Although this legend is mainly a support character, it can still easily be used to be at the top of the team. Number 4 is Bangalore. Bangalore is one of the original legends and a great pick for beginners and veterans. She's a really good legend that has all-around base for run and gun, movement, and defensive gameplay. She is part of the assault class legends that allows her to access hidden loot in red weapon supply bins, which gives high value weapon attachments, and she can also carry an extra stack of ammo in each inventory slot. You're always plenty stacked up on ammo. Her tactical ability is a smoke launcher that allows players to fire a high velocity smoke canister that explodes into a smoke wall on impact. This can be used for an offensive tactic or defensive. It can allow you and your team to sneak a res or just exit a situation in general, but really you could just want to rotate around without everyone seeing your every move. A huge plus is if your team has digital threat sights, you can see through the smoke and it will highlight the enemies, making it very easy to take them out without them being able to see you. Her passive ability, Double Time, allows her to move faster for a brief time once under enemy fire. This can be extremely helpful if you're caught out in the open and somebody fires at you. You can quickly push towards cover. Once you learn more movement, you can actually even use it to push enemies in certain situations. She has an extremely useful ultimate ability called Rolling Thunder, which is basically a large artillery strike that will drop bombs across a large amount of the landscape and damage enemies, which is a great way to deal with third parties if you need to exit the situation. But it can also be used as a third-party tactic to be able to rush teams or even stop them from being able to heal, because they'll have to move out of the area and get to cover. Number 3 is Octane. Octane is a skirmisher legend that will allow you to reveal care package contents to see the highest value item inside of them before they even hit the ground. This character is primarily useful for a player who's very confident in gunfights and pushing teams. His tactical ability allows you to stem and gain a 30% boost in movement speed for 6 seconds, but it will cost you a small amount of health. This can be used to push or maneuver away from enemy teams. His passive ability automatically restores your health over time, which is a huge plus for players that don't like to loot a lot of heals. You can use that space for more ammunition or shields. It's just nice to know that your health will return without you even having to do anything. But another huge plus is although your tactical ability may take a little bit of health from you, your passive just gives it right back to you. But a lot of players like Octane because of his ultimate ability, because he's able to deploy a launch pad. And you can use this to get to higher ground, exit situations, or just push teams and land on them out of nowhere. You and your whole team will be able to take the pad and get an additional jump boost after taking it, which makes him a perfect legend for someone who plays really aggressive. Number 2 is Gibraltar. Gibraltar is a support player that is played by even the highest level of players still. His tactical ability is a dome of protection that is a bubble that allows you to deploy cover and use this bubble to perform maneuvers and outplay enemy teams while also providing protection from enemy gunfire or ultimates. For example, if you have a player downed and an ultimate like Bangalore's was called in, you could throw down your shield on top of your downed teammate and be able to help cover them while you or another teammate picks them up. His passive ability is a gun shield, so if you're not the best with movement, this is a great legend to start with because while aimed down sights, your legend will pull up a shield that reduces the damage of enemy gunfire and allows you more of a chance to actually get that knockdown. His ultimate ability is much like Bangalore's. It is called the defensive bombardment. A big difference is that this constantly rains down meteor-like explosions that will constantly damage enemies. It's best to use along with your bubble shield to fortify you and your team and ensure that no one will push you and give you and your team plenty of time to heal or maybe just reassess your situation that you're in. Gibraltar is definitely still one of the most important legends and best support player to have on a team. Now before we get to the number 1 legend, let's take a look at what is the most popular legends played right now by individual rankings. According to season 17, the top 3 most played legends of any ranking is Wraith coming in at number 3 with 8.9%, Octane at number 2 with 9.8%, and Pathfinder coming in at number 1 with 10.7% of the player base. But if we move on over to Master/Apex Predators for this season, we've got 13.7% of them playing as Horizon, 12.4% as Pathfinder, and 10.7% as Wraith. And the number 1 best legend to use for beginners is Loba. If you're looking to unlock a different legend from the originals, Loba is a fantastic pick for beginners that will benefit any team you're on. She was actually the second support legend after Lifeline to be added to Apex Legends, but she does it in a different way from Lifeline. Loba's support is all about kitting out your team as quickly as possible. Her biggest strength is that in her fast charging ultimate ability, Black Market, when you set it down, it gives you access to all of the loot within a certain radius, which means you can pull out unlimited amounts of ammo as long as it's in the area, and up to 2 of any other item per player. So if you grab any consumables like syringes or shield batteries, you'll be able to get 2 of them if they're there. Be careful though, because it does make a big flash and sound effect, so it will alert any nearby enemies. Don't forget, no more wasting time trying to find good loot. Her passive ability, Eye for Quality, allows her to see nearby epic or legendary loot through the walls, and it has the same range as the Black Market Boutique. But not only does she have the ability to loot everything within the vicinity with ease, her tactical ability, Burglar's Best Friend, allows you to teleport to hard to reach places or just escape situations quickly by throwing down her jump drive bracelet. If you're just trying to rush a team or get away from one, you have the ability to do so with the snap of your finger. She is by far the most useful legend for looting, and if you learn how to use this legend correctly, every team will want you. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite legend is, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and turn those post notifications on so that you're notified every time we upload.